Heather Locklear, once a shining star of 1990s Hollywood known for her roles in Melrose Place and Money Talks, embodied glamour and talent. Captivating audiences and becoming a household name, Locklear appeared to be on the path to continual success. However, beneath her glamorous surface lay a tumultuous reality filled with struggle, addiction, and heartbreak. Locklear's decline began even before her star waned in the early 2000s, as personal issues merged with the pressures of fame, leading her into a destructive spiral. Friends and family watched in despair as she battled addiction and mental health challenges, which threatened to overshadow her former brilliance. From 2008 onward, Locklear sought help over 20 times at rehabilitation facilities, hoping each visit would mark a turning point. Yet her struggles proved intricate, involving both substance abuse and deep-rooted mental health issues. In 2008, she entered the Sierra Tucson Treatment Center, seeking treatment for anxiety and depression, a step complicated by the public glare amplifying her pain. Once celebrated, Locklear now found herself in tabloid headlines for troubling reasons, losing control over her narrative. Additionally, her relationships, notably her tumultuous marriage to Tommy Lee, faced immense strain. Their highs and lows led to a divorce in 1993, leaving Locklear reflecting on sadness rather than devastation, hinting at deeper emotional challenges that would characterize her subsequent experiences. After her split from Lee, Heather Locklear began dating Bon Jovi guitarist Richie Sambora, and they married in 1994, seemingly forming the perfect Hollywood family with their daughter Ava. However, in 2006, Locklear filed for divorce, marking a significant turning point in her life. The emotional upheaval contributed to a decline in her mental health and career, leading to a period of isolation. By 2018, sources reported she was neglecting to seek help for her ongoing mental health issues, which deeply concerned her loved ones. Although Locklear celebrated 1 year of sobriety in 2020, her recovery journey was fraught with challenges. She candidly discussed her struggles with addiction on Instagram, emphasizing the ferocity of addiction and the importance of recovery. Nevertheless, by 2023, troubling reports surfaced indicating she had relapsed. Erratic behavior, including a distressing incident walking along a building ledge in Malibu, alarmed friends and family. Throughout this tumultuous journey, Locklear's daughter Ava remained a steadfast source of support, cherishing their deep bond. Ava expressed admiration for her mother, highlighting the strength of their relationship as a beacon in Locklear's life amidst her ongoing challenges. Heather Locklear's life, marked by moments of glitz and glamour, tells a complex tale of resilience amid personal turmoil. Despite facing numerous challenges, her determination to overcome adversity remains evident, particularly as she strives for sobriety and mental health. The public's fascination with her journey reflects not only her struggles, but also serves as a poignant reminder of the hidden battles faced by those in the spotlight. A significant turning point in her life occurred when a close friend, Denise Richards, began a romantic relationship with Richie Sambora, Locklear's ex-husband. This betrayal shattered the bond between Locklear and Richards, testing Locklear's emotional strength when she was already grappling with the fallout from her marriage. The betrayal was particularly painful for Locklear, given her history with Richards, who she regarded as a confidant and neighbor, both entwined in Hollywood circles. Although Richards attempted to mitigate the situation by stating their friendship had diminished by the time her relationship with Sambora began, for Locklear, the wound was too deep. The emotional aftermath of this betrayal exacerbated her existing struggles, emphasizing the profound impact that relationships can have on mental well-being, especially in the unforgiving world of fame and celebrity. Locklear's narrative thus highlights the complexity of human connections amidst personal crises. But this was just the beginning of Locklear's unraveling. As if heartbreak from the betrayal wasn't enough, Heather's personal life was becoming a minefield of volatility. After reconnecting with her high school sweetheart, Chris Heiser, years later, the rekindled relationship soon proved to be as tumultuous as the rest of her romantic entanglements. Despite the romantic allure of reconnecting with a former love, the reality was far less idyllic. The relationship was riddled with conflict from the start, and in 2018 it took a dark turn when Heather was arrested on domestic violence charges. The incident, which took place at her home in Thousand Oaks, California, was a shocking escalation. Reports indicated that the situation became so heated that Locklear's brother, unable to control the chaos, called the police. A fit of rage led to Locklear physically assaulting Heiser, and she was arrested on the scene. While Heather claimed to be injured, authorities reported that no visible injuries were evident. "We determined she had battered her boyfriend," noted Captain Gu Kian of the Ventura County Sheriff's Office. This incident was a shocking moment for those who had once seen Heather as the epitome of Hollywood grace and charm. Many close to her expressed grave concerns about her mental health, unsure of what was truly happening behind the scenes. Despite this volatile incident, Locklear and Heiser continued to try to build something out of their chaotic past. But their efforts to create stability were continuously thwarted by the emotional and psychological scars that each had carried from their tumultuous history. The pressure of living in the public eye added even more strain to their efforts. Still, despite the chaos, there were some sources of light in Heather's life. Her parents remained steadfast supporters, helping their daughter navigate these dark times, even when it seemed like the world around her was crumbling. Despite the glittering and glamorous world in which she once thrived, Heather Locklear's life has been a tumultuous journey marked by emotional highs and lows, with struggles that have been as public as they have been personal. Throughout her career, Heather was known for her elegance, beauty, and iconic roles in television, particularly for her portrayal of Amanda Woodward on Melrose Place. However, as her fame skyrocketed, so did the complexity of the battles she faced in private. The steadfast support of her parents, who stood by her through thick and thin, was not always enough to shield her from the waves of turmoil that seemed to relentlessly crash into her life. For years, Heather Locklear's life has been under a microscope, with the media often focusing on her struggles rather than celebrating her achievements. Each time it appeared that she might be on the path to recovery, another personal crisis would rear its head, sending her spiraling back into turmoil. The actress who once epitomized the shining star of Hollywood, poised, confident, and adored by fans, was increasingly overshadowed by a new image. A woman trying desperately to reclaim her sense of self amidst the chaos. As time went on, it became clear that the road to redemption would be anything but straightforward. In the spring of 2010, Heather found herself involved in yet another scandal that would add fuel to the growing media firestorm surrounding her. This time, it was a hit-and-run incident that would make headlines. In April of that year, Locklear was driving her black BMW sedan when she collided with a parking sign, causing minimal damage. While fortunately no one was injured in the accident, the story quickly found its way into the tabloids, reinforcing a narrative that had begun to form in the public's mind. Heather Locklear was struggling to maintain control over her life. Despite the minor nature of the incident, it was one more chapter in a book of personal turmoil that the actress could not seem to escape. As the media dug deeper, the narrative of a woman unraveling became more pronounced. The Ventura District Attorney later confirmed that there was insufficient evidence to determine who was driving the vehicle, and no criminal charges were filed. Yet the damage had already been done. The once beloved star was now a figure whose every move seemed to be scrutinized, each mistake magnified by the flashing cameras and the waiting media. Heather's romantic life, too, mirrored the instability that defined much of her personal world. One of her more high-profile relationships was with Jack Wagner, her co-star from Melrose Place. Their connection had initially blossomed on set, and by 2011, the couple was engaged with plans to marry. However, the pressure of their high-profile relationship, combined with concerns over the impact it would have on their children, led to the collapse of their engagement later that same year. What was once thought to be a fairy tale romance quickly became another chapter in the saga of Heather Locklear's turbulent personal life. In an interview years later, Wagner spoke thoughtfully about their relationship and the challenges they faced. "We all have our struggles," he remarked in 2018 to Entertainment Tonight. "Some of us handle them in different ways. It's just about when you make that decision to get better. Time will tell." His words were not just a reflection of the end of their engagement, but a subtle nod to the ongoing battles Heather faced in her life. Even as she desperately tried to regain a sense of stability, the weight of her emotional struggles loomed large. Despite the trials in her personal life, one constant source of strength for Heather remained her daughter, Ava. Ava, who had faced her own battles with anxiety, spoke publicly about how her mother had always been there for her, providing unwavering support even when the actress was grappling with her own demons. Ava's experiences were a testament to the side of Heather that the public rarely saw, the nurturing, protective mother who placed her daughter's well-being above all else. In an emotional interview in 2019, Ava shared the depths of Heather's devotion. "Any time of the day she would stop what she was doing and come to comfort me," Ava recalled, describing how Heather would stay on the phone with her daughter late into the night, offering comfort until Ava was calm enough to sleep. "I would insist she didn't have to, but she would stay on the phone with me until I was calm enough to sleep." This unshakable support from Heather was a side of the actress that few knew. Yet it was the one constant in Ava's life, something that provided solace and strength in the most difficult times. Ava's gratitude for her mother's support was palpable. She frequently spoke about how Heather had always been there for her, from taking her to doctor's appointments to offering emotional support during the most challenging moments of her life. For all the chaos that surrounded Heather, the love between mother and daughter remained a steady beacon of light. This relationship, one that often remained hidden from the media spotlight, was a testament to the depth of Heather's character and the lengths she would go to for those she loved. At the heart of it all was the enduring fight that Heather continued to face. Addiction, mental health struggles, and personal losses had shaped her life in ways that few could comprehend. Yet, through it all, Heather demonstrated an inner strength that was both heartbreaking and inspiring. Despite the public chaos, despite the headlines that painted a portrait of a woman in freefall, Heather remained committed to her journey of healing. And in the moments when she was at her lowest, it was her daughter, Ava, who was there to remind her of the love and purpose that still existed in her life. In the years that followed, Heather's battle with addiction and mental health became a focal point in the media. Each setback was met with headlines. Each victory was celebrated by a small circle of those who truly understood the struggles she had faced. But despite the public scrutiny and personal turmoil, Heather Locklear's story remained one of resilience, a story of a woman who, despite all odds, continued to fight for herself and for those she loved. As Heather's journey unfolded, it became clear that her battles were far from over. Yet, for every dark moment, there was also a flicker of light, a glimmer of hope that suggested perhaps she could find peace in the midst of the storm. Heather Locklear's life has been marked by public tragedy and personal triumphs, but through it all, she has shown the world what it means to endure. Her story is one of strength, of love, and of a woman who, despite everything, refuses to let go of the hope that she can still rebuild the life she once had. In a world where the spotlight often reveals only the chaos and the scandal, Heather's story is a reminder that behind every public figure is a person who is, above all, human, flawed, yes, but also capable of incredible resilience and love. Despite the whirlwind of public turmoil and personal struggles that often overshadowed her, Heather Locklear remained steadfast in her role as a loving, nurturing mother. In a world where her public persona was frequently dictated by the chaos around her, it was in her quiet moments with her daughter that Heather revealed a side of herself that was far removed from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. It was a side that spoke to the core of who she truly was. Someone who, above all else, valued family, love, and the bonds that anchored her to the world. Heather's journey, however, has never been a simple one. Her battle with addiction and mental health has been long and arduous, with setbacks that have often seemed insurmountable. Yet, through every stumble and fall, Heather has demonstrated a remarkable resilience, a refusal to be defined by her challenges. The strength she has shown in facing the demons of addiction and navigating the tumultuous waters of mental health struggles is nothing short of inspiring. Despite the public chaos and the shadows cast by her personal battles, Heather remains determined to reclaim her life piece by piece, day by day. But perhaps one of the most defining and heartbreaking moments of Heather's life came on June 12, 2024. On that fateful day, she shared a post with her millions of followers that would not only change the course of her journey, but mark a profound turning point. The message was simple, yet incredibly powerful. Heather had lost her father, Bill Locklear, the man she called the most brilliant man I have ever known. For Heather, this loss wasn't just the death of a beloved parent. It was the end of an era, the loss of a guiding light that had illuminated the darkest corners of her life. Her father had been more than a parent. He had been her mentor, her rock, and the constant presence that steadied her through every storm. The grief she felt was palpable, a deep, aching emptiness that rippled through her soul and seemed to halt time itself. In the heartfelt tribute she posted on Instagram, Heather's words revealed the depth of her sorrow. She referred to her father as the love of my life, and the profound pride she felt in being his daughter was evident in every sentence. "The bar is oh so high," she wrote, encapsulating the unique and powerful bond they had shared. It wasn't just about the love between a father and daughter, it was about a relationship that transcended bloodlines. For Heather, Bill had been more than a father. He had been a mentor, a confidant, a steady hand in a world that often seemed too overwhelming to navigate. His passing was not just the end of a life, it was the end of the strongest pillar she had ever known. Bill Locklear's health had been in decline for some time before his death. In February 2024, he had been hospitalized, an event that had sent Heather into a period of deep stress and anxiety. She had witnessed her father's health deteriorate, each day a reminder of the inevitable loss that loomed on the horizon. The emotional toll of watching someone so dear to her fade away had been unbearable. But despite the mounting weight of grief, Heather clung to the love and wisdom her father had imparted. His presence had been a guiding force in her life, and as his health worsened, she found herself leaning into the memories of his unwavering love and the wisdom he had shared with her throughout the years. Bill's death was a blow Heather could never have fully prepared for. The finality of it all hit like a wave, crashing over her and sweeping away any sense of stability she had left. The grief was suffocating, a constant ache that seemed to follow her everywhere she went. But in the midst of the sorrow, Heather found solace in the legacy her father had left behind. His love for her had been profound, his wisdom immeasurable, and his impact on her life undeniable. Their bond had been well known among those close to the family. In July 2019, Heather had celebrated her father's 90th birthday with a heartfelt video tribute, a moment that captured the essence of their relationship. In the video, Heather referred to Bill as her hero, and his response was equally touching. "Happy news that you have brought me today to be part of your life all the rest of your life," he said, his words a testament to the unbreakable bond they shared. It was a rare moment of tenderness and love that revealed the depth of their connection, a connection that had remained steadfast, even in the face of the many challenges Heather had faced throughout her life. But despite the personal heartache, Heather has continued to face the world with courage. Her journey through grief, addiction, and mental health struggles has been long and often difficult, but it has also been a story of strength and resilience. As she navigates the complexities of her emotions and continues to heal, she has done so in the spotlight, sharing her vulnerabilities and her triumphs with the world. Heather's openness about her struggles has not only been a source of strength for herself, but has also served as a reminder to others that it's okay to be vulnerable, to grieve, and to struggle. Throughout it all, Heather's devotion to her family has remained unwavering. In the face of profound loss and the continued battle with addiction, it is her role as a mother that continues to ground her. The love she has for her daughter, Ava, is palpable, and Heather has shown time and again that despite the darkness in her life, she will always prioritize the happiness and well-being of her child. Ava has been her light in the darkest of times, and her love for her daughter is a driving force in Heather's determination to heal and move forward. As Heather continues her journey through recovery, mental health struggles, and the grieving process, her story remains one of great complexity. It is a story of heartbreak, but also of hope. A story that demonstrates the incredible power of resilience and the human spirit's ability to endure. Her life has been marked by challenges, both personal and professional, but through it all, she has continued to fight. In a world that often demands perfection from its stars, Heather Locklear has shown the world that even in the midst of chaos, there is always room for grace, for healing, and for love. Heather's journey is far from over. She may still face setbacks and moments of darkness, but she has already proven that she has the strength to rise above them. Her resilience and courage serve as a beacon of hope to others who may be facing their own struggles. Heather Locklear's story is not just one of survival. It is a story of triumph, of finding light in the darkest of times, and of showing the world that even when life feels unbearable, there is always a way forward. The passing of Bill Locklear was more than just a tragic personal loss for Heather Locklear. It was the end of a chapter that had shaped her, grounded her, and defined much of who she is today. Her father had been a constant in her life, not just as a parent, but as a mentor, a guiding figure, and an unwavering source of support. Losing him was like losing a part of herself, a foundation on which she had built much of her emotional resilience. The grief that followed was immeasurable, a deep, aching void that reverberated throughout her every waking moment. Yet, in the midst of this overwhelming sadness, Heather found solace in the lessons her father had imparted and the memories of their shared love. His wisdom, kindness, and unwavering belief in her continued to guide her, even as she struggled to navigate the most painful period of her life. Bill Locklear's death marked a pivotal moment in Heather's life, one that she could never have fully prepared for. As she navigated the emotional turmoil, Heather continued to share her journey with her followers. She opened up about the raw, unfiltered pain she felt, but also about her determination to honor her father's memory by pushing forward. Her resilience in the face of such loss was nothing short of inspiring. She showed the world that even in the darkest moments, it is possible to find the strength to keep going. In the months that followed her father's passing, Heather retreated from the public eye, a natural response to the emotional weight she was carrying. It was clear that the grief was still very fresh, and while she continued to post on social media, her content shifted. No longer focused on the hustle and bustle of her busy career, Heather began to share more intimate, personal moments that brought her some measure of comfort during this challenging time. One of the most significant of those moments came when she celebrated her daughter Ava's engagement. Heather described it as the second best day of my life, with the first being Ava's birth. For Heather, being a mother was the greatest joy, and she cherished every milestone in Ava's life. Even amidst the pain of losing her father, Heather found a flicker of joy in her daughter's happiness. It was a reminder that life does move forward, even when grief threatens to hold you in place. But the loss of her father wasn't the only challenge Heather had been grappling with in recent years. She had also been fighting a battle that many in Hollywood know all too well: the brutal scrutiny of aging in an industry that values youth above all else. In an industry that often forgets its stars once their prime years have passed, Heather had been forced to face the reality of being an actress whose youth was behind her. It's a reality many actresses struggle to come to terms with, but Heather wasn't willing to let her age define her. She wasn't going to let Hollywood push her aside simply because she had crossed into her 50s. Instead, she pushed forward, fueled by a passion for acting that had never diminished. In 2021, Heather took on a role in the TV movie Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, the Christine Carlson story. It was a pivotal moment in her career, one that many saw as her chance for a comeback, a chance to remind the world that she still had plenty to offer. It was more than just another acting job. It was Heather's way of proving to herself and to the world that she wasn't finished yet. She took on the role with the same fierce determination that had defined her career from the very beginning. She was ready to show the world that, despite the years and the challenges, she still had the talent, the drive, and the passion to succeed. Heather's story, however, is not just about her career. It's a testament to her resilience, to her refusal to give up in the face of personal and professional hardships. She has faced loss, heartache, and the relentless pressures of an industry that often overlooks its older stars. And yet, through it all, Heather remains determined to move forward. Her journey has been far from easy, but her strength is undeniable. Her ability to honor her father's memory while continuing to fight for her career is a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. Despite the personal loss, Heather has not lost sight of her goals. She has proven time and time again that setbacks are just opportunities for comebacks. Her unwavering commitment to her craft and her desire to keep moving forward are qualities that have made her not just a survivor of Hollywood's harsh realities, but a trailblazer who continues to inspire others. As Heather continues her journey, her story serves as a reminder to everyone that perseverance is key. Life will always throw challenges your way, whether they're personal, professional, or both. But what defines you is how you respond to those challenges. Heather Locklear's journey is a testament to the fact that resilience isn't about avoiding pain. It's about facing it head-on, learning from it, and using it to fuel your next steps forward. Her journey through grief has been long and difficult, but Heather has come out the other side stronger than ever. She has found peace in the memory of her father, in the love of her daughter, and in the knowledge that her best days are still ahead. Heather has shown the world that no matter what life throws at you, there is always a path forward, a path filled with love, strength, and the determination to never give up. Heather Locklear's story is far from over. In fact, it's just beginning. With each step she takes, she proves that no challenge is too great, no loss too deep, and no obstacle too high to overcome. As she continues to honor her father's legacy and build her own, Heather Locklear will undoubtedly inspire countless others to face their own challenges with courage, grace, and unwavering strength. The best is yet to come.